Hello, 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 my loves, and welcome to EQ with Jah. Feeling fresh and just happy and in this state of love. Not just romantic, but also just life love, the consciousness of love, the feeling of love. Like, I was sitting and just allowing myself to be. Like, I listen to different types of music all the time because music therapy is real. I don't care what anyone says or think about it, because there's so much emphasis on the therapy that the therapy just represents healing. That's all the word is supposed to mean, healing. And anytime we listen to music, it brings us a stillness to us. It can bring a happiness and energetic energy to us as well, but the point is that music has that ability to transform your sight. You can listen to a song and not understand the concept of something at first, and the song just says it perfectly with the music, and it just brings it full circle, and you're like, that's a moment of enlightenment. That's a vibration. That is a consciousness. We have to start becoming more aware of what the feeling, the state of being of love really means. Of course, everyone wants the romantic love, but romantic love is only the part that we get to see as the byproduct of putting in the work. So then we go out and we try to replicate it, and we have people who are mimicking not only what they think they see is happiness, they also are conditioned by what their parents have thought happiness looked like. And so whatever those interpretations were, we all get this diluted, I guess you can say diluted vision of what we think we're supposed to see. But love is a consciousness. Love is a feeling. Love is a mood. Love is just that moment where, like, you can walk into a room completely unconscious of what's around you. And then something that you love, may it be food, a person, an activity, instantly you just light up. What is that? You know, we can say that's excitement, but there's excitement that is stemmed from love. Remember, the only two things that exist are love and the illusion of fear, which is the rejection of love, right? Everything is a dual reflection of itself, and then the polarities become all of the extremes that we say are insecurities and all of the conditional things that are attached to it. If you take off the extremes of everything, then you start to really feel what love is. You know, every day, if you watch my Instagram and my social media and stuff, I put Mochi up everywhere. That's my cat. I have always loved animals. I've always worked with animals, but like Mochi became special because Mochi represented an energy and a consciousness that I was able to be at, having clarity of my own life and the things that I've done and the ways that I've put energy into it and how it came out, not knowing my state of mind and consciousness were connected to it. I've had different pets, and I love them all, and each of them respectively is, in a nice home, because every time I moved around, I knew that I could not keep them all. And that was another lesson of teaching myself what love was. How can you love something, but yet you're able to keep bouncing around and just kind of placing them places? And that's when I realized that you have to be sometimes aware of, we're just a facilitator. Maybe I'm not meant to take everyone in. I was mostly fostering. And then I would get attached, and I would take them in, and then I would rehome them the way I wanted. Because I knew that I wanted the type of animals that if I fostered them, the type of love I put into them, I wanted them to retain it and feel safe. I never ever played like I was going to drop them or play fight with them. No, there's many toys, there's many things. Animals are conscious beings. They'll figure out how to entertain themselves. I made sure that I always stayed a beacon of light and protection and a source for them to come to. This is the whole mother-father spirit. Again, all of our love is broken down into those two things. How were we loved by our mother? How were we loved by our father? Those are one layer of it. The next conditional part is the emotional. How will we protect it? Protection is not a sex. Protection is a feeling, right? All right. And then you got to think about, well, how was I nurtured? Nurturing is not a sex. It's how someone showed you what love looks like. So now you have this image, which is your ego, your parents representing a consciousness, which is an emotion of love, which is protection and nurturing. Everyone needs this and desires this. This will never go away. So no one's ever just one and no one's ever just the other, but we are concentrated levels of it based on the conditioning of our own consciousness in our own society. I know that was a mouthful, but it is a full sentence, trust me. It's just we have to start being open to what love feels like so that we know what love looks like. Not the tangible things we get to touch and kiss on and play with, but the actual emotional things that represent our consciousness. Because when we go out and we pick someone who's bigger than us, well, either we're saying we want someone who makes us feel protected or we want someone we can dominate, right? If you get someone smaller than you, you're either saying you want someone that you can nurture and protect, or you want someone that makes you feel like you're not always the one in control. These are always that, like, you see it, the really tall guy and the little short woman, she's like, ah! And it's like, oh my God, because her energy is not just her physical being. Her energy is also her protective and nurturing energy. And that can be bigger or smaller depending on, again, the yin and yang and the makeup of, the formula that you go by. You have to know your own formula. I'm a little more of this, I'm a little more of that. That means the person I need to look for needs to be a little more of that and a little less of this. And then when you start combining them, this is when you start finding the correlation. You start seeing the correlation. Remember, when you are able to prioritize, your loves, then you're able to prioritize your clarity. If I say this is what I love and this is what I love to do and what I need to do, all right, well then you can't hang out with them, you can't do this, you can't eat that, you got to do this. Now, the free will is, do I want to take that path? That's your choice. But now you have a consciousness of seeing, I have a role in the type of love that I attract. There's no way at this point in this state of life right now, we are no longer, when they say an old world, new world, this is a new world. Everything's mostly digital. Everything's going that way. People are more entrepreneurial. Things are just out there. Things are happening, which means we get to prioritize our loves. The things that were once my understanding of what it means to be happy or what it means to be wealthy or what it means to be successful all came back to somebody else's linear paradigm of what they said it looked like. But now we know how we feel. And so that's why I say we have the opportunity to now reside, not try to fight through, not try to invoke someone, and it's not our jobs anymore except to be in a place of conscious love. Conscious love looks like doing the work. Not trying to judge someone else for what they're doing, but actually asking yourself, why do I feel the need to judge? I know I do it, but why do I need to do it? Ask yourself, be honest, there's people who do it. I don't care what anyone does, but it's like, be honest. This is the point where I said before, when you allow yourself to not lie to yourself, the world is such a different place. There's no way anyone can walk up to this world confidently and say, well, I know based on hearsay. Is that a real moment in life right now? Everything that someone tells you is real now. No, pay attention to what is happening so that you have, the ability to back it up with cognitive reasoning and your emotionality to use that as emotional intelligence to say, well, this happened, but this also happened, so this equates this out. That's how we get to a logical place of being if we use it correctly, not in a way of being stagnant and saying this is the only way we know. So when I say, allow yourself to feel what love feels like I love feeling safe. I love feeling relaxed. I love feeling goofy. I love feeling loved. I love feeling desired. I love this. These are loves, right? And then what my body says, well, what do you want to do to get that? Well, I got to love on myself, take care of myself, take care of my stand, take care of my feet, take care of my muscles, take care of the thing that's carrying this vessel around. Wow. That's how you take care of yourself. Thank you. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for taking care of the vessel, the car. Talk about it all the time. Then the soul's like, now I can go even further because now I know that I can rely on you. Just like a reliable vehicle, you know how far you can go. I've had a lot of people, hey, can you make this trip? No, my car ain't going to make it that far. At least you know how far your car going to make it based on the treatment you gave it or the condition you got it in based on what you felt was your worth. But right now, I'm trying to say is we always have the ability to step outside of that paradigm and say, well, my worth is this, and I'm going to put the work into making sure this is a running engine that keeps on going, and it can go as far as I need it to go, as long as I keep filling up the tank with content and gas and whatever that means to you. As long as you have the energy to just keep going, soul and spirit are always going to find a path and some type of energy that you're going to connect to take you to the next journey. Again, this whole life, this human life experience, it's all about transcending to your next level of spirituality, which is, yes, I am a human being who's physically going through this world and everything feels like it's happening to me. But something loved me into this world. Something is allowing me to breathe. Something is allowing me to eat and drink and move and all this stuff. Again, it's not about your parents. You got to go back to the elemental source. They are the ones who are giving us life. That's ancestors. And then the people who are our immediate family are our tribe, and they just keep producing us so that we can keep producing ourselves to pass on the legacy. When you take care of your body and your health and your consciousness and everything about yourself that keeps you producing, then you're able to attract the energy of the people, your partner, the opportunities that you want, because you're attracted to a certain type of energy. Whatever people want to break it down to in subcategories and this and this and that, that's fine. But every group I've ever hung out in, it don't matter. I was always the tall, pretty black man. But I knew that beyond that, I also could speak and I can articulate anything I wanted to based on my own consciousness of feeling like I should have clarity. Not because I'm trying to speak well for someone else. I don't do that. I don't put on a show. But if I'm explaining something, yeah, I'm going to slow down and try to give my best representation of the English language, darling. Whatever. The point being is, get back to your consciousness of love. Your consciousness of love is what's going to start directing you into your actual aligned soul path. Again, we might know that we are the car and that we can drive and we can go anywhere we want. That's the free will. But unless we have a path, which is the destination going from point A to point B, once we get to the destination, we have no idea what's going to happen. That's spirit giving us guidance. Once we get there, we just have to know that it's a full package deal. You have to love the mind, body, soul, and spirit. It all comes back to the heart, that gut intuition that's attached to all of this happening, and then your mind is processing it. This is the ego that gets to say, hey, I want to be a part of this journey, and I want to be the best part in the representation of this journey so that I can help others see that they can make it. This is love, baby. This is love in action, love and work. And that means you got to do the shadow work. Doesn't matter what type of relationship you want to have with anyone. If you don't do shadow work with yourself and any energy that you think you feel, you think you heard, or feel you know, deal with it. Man, dark is dark as long as it's in your mind. Do not act it out. Okay? That's all it has to be. It's not dark until you act something out. It's only in your mind. It's a moment of letting your body figure out what this means, because we all are imprinted with memories and data from times and things that we don't even remember from childhood. And sometimes we use those things as symbolizations to our emotions that are trying to explain something logical. Start learning the difference so that you're able to listen to yourself, love yourself through a process without freaking out and shutting down and thinking that you have to go out to an outside source to find love. Love starts within, so then you can give it out. I love you guys. Thank you for listening again. As always, I just be talking. If you made it this far, love you. Besos. Thank you. And check me out, social media, all platforms, as well as my website, epicenter.org. And I will be here loving you, sending you great vibes, loving myself, giving myself good vibes, and just wishing for the next best day, because at this point, that's all you can do. But you want to make sure you stay conscious of what's going on so you don't get lost in translation and you start forgetting what love feels like and looks like again. Okay, guys? This is what got us here. So let's remember that we don't want to go back. We can fight and still have a loving heart. We can stand up and still have a loving heart. We can speak up and still have a loving heart. What we don't want to do is speak so much that we lose consciousness of what the heart was for, and then we just get lost in this crazy, endless war. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it worked. Pesos!